Hello, classmates. I will be discussing topic 3, the difficulties encountered by Burnett in the Sports for Development programs in South African townships. Regardless of what the goals are for Sport for Development programs, one key element that they all have in common is the need for funding. There are times when funding for Sport for Development can become increasingly difficult, especially in times of economic hardships. Sport for Development programs obtain funding in various ways, such as donations, government grants, and corporate funds. Given that corporations have increased their social awareness outreach programs, many are more willing to fund different programs that have an impact on society. However, in order to secure funding, there needs to be proof that the Sport for Development programs actually do have a positive effect on the participants and helps them become better citizens. In order to obtain funding for Sport for Development programs, they rely heavily on fact building. Webb states, focusing on fact building as a funding technique facilitates the construction of a conceptual model that crystallizes our understanding of how funding agencies are seduced into funding sport for development projects. Given that one of the issues that they faced, as that was mentioned in the article, was the manifestations of poverty, funding is extremely crucial to the success of the programs to ensure that enough supplies, enough materials are there in order to be able to assist the participants with what they need. Another issue that was encountered was the lack of human resources, as there were not enough presenters. Given that many Sport for Development programs rely heavily on volunteers, and since they are so critical to the success, a better job needs to be done of recruiting and retaining volunteers. This can be done by finding what motivates the volunteers to ensure that they continue to donate their time. According to the article in Nonprofit and Voluntary Sector Quarterly, since there is an increasingly competitive market for volunteers, nonprofit Sport for Development programs must identify factors that make the volunteer experience attractive. They also need to know what motivates the volunteers to donate their time and what contributes to future engagement or retention of volunteers. Thus, multiple motivations should be incorporated into theorizing about volunteer motives for taking part in Sport for Development initiatives. This information could be easily obtained by surveying the volunteers. Just simply creating a survey and administrating the survey to the volunteers and analyzing that data to see what is the driving cause of them volunteering their time. In order for Sport for Development programs to be effective, a monitoring process and an evaluation process needs to be in place in order to gauge the efficiency, effectiveness, and to ensure that the outcomes are obtained. These are just a few solutions that can be used to further strengthen Sport for Development programs. Thank you very much for watching.